Hi everyone, my name is Nuria and this is my sewing journey. And for today's video, I'm going to show you how to sew a bucket hat. I'm going to show you how to print it, how to assemble it, how to modify the pattern to fit big and small foreheads, and how to change the brim length. Also, this is a reversible bucket hat, so have fun. I designed this pattern a while ago because I couldn't find bucket hats that had different brim designs. And this pattern comes with 4 different brim designs, from the closest to your face to a flat design. And to make this pattern, you're going to need a sewing machine, some thread, some fabric, and the pattern, which is linked down below. If you don't want to purchase the pattern, don't worry, I have another video teaching you how to draft this same sewing pattern for any size you want, so you can go there and check it out. I'll also link it down below. This hat comes in 6 different sizes, from 52 centimeters to 61 centimeters head circumference. And as always, if you want me to include more sizes, just let me know. As for the fabric, you're going to need 1 meter of fabric if you do both the main structure and the lining with the same type of fabric, or half a meter and half a meter of each fabric, both for main structure and lining, if you're going to use it with different fabrics. And as for interfacing, you're also going to need around half a meter of interfacing. I like to use the thicker one, and I only interface one side of the brim, but if you get a lightweight interfacing, you can always choose to interface both sides, or if that's the design style that you're going for, then go for that. I want to give you some tips to choosing the fabric. If you are a beginner sewist, I would go for medium weight cotton, 100% cotton with no elasticity, like poplin for example, because it's easier to sew with. And if you choose to go for bulkier fabrics, I would also advise you to size up one size, because otherwise it's going to be too small on your head. Just so you can see it, I made this bucket hat with thicker fabric, it's polar fleece, and I sized up, and it fits my body. It's a little bit bigger than my head, but it sits comfortably. And on the other hand, I have this one here, which the inside is also using polar fleece, and this one is on my size and it hardly goes in, so my head is really tight on it. So you can choose if you want it tight to your head or if you want to size up. The fabric I'm going to be using today, to make it a little bit complicated, I'm using fabric with a little bit of elasticity and on the thick side. And I'm going to interface only one side of the brim because that's how I like it. But as I said, you can choose as much interfacing as you want, even if you want to interface the whole hat, depending on how much structure you want it to have. And as for the difficulty, I tend to say that all patterns are beginner friendly, and instead of saying that, I'm just going to say that in order to complete this tutorial, you're going to learn how to sew curves and how to attach a lining. These are the 2 techniques that we're going to be using today. So if you want to practice them before this video, but otherwise I would still say that it's a pretty beginner friendly pattern. That's everything. Let's get into the actual sewing. The first thing we have to figure out is our size. To find that out, take a measuring tape and measure around your head circumference like I'm doing. Once you know, go to your computer and open the pattern, preferably on Adobe PDF. This is not mandatory, but there you can separate the different sizes and only print yours. Otherwise, the lines of this pattern are very close together, so it makes it easier later on. Click on the right side of the document over layers and select your size only. After that, click on print and make sure the settings are set to 100% scale. Click print and you're done. Once the pattern has been printed, the first thing you should do is check if the size is correct. In page 1, there is a square that should measure 10 by 10 centimeters or 2 by 2 inches. And just there, double check if that's the case or not. If it's not, you will have to print it again and check your printing settings. And after that, it's time to assemble the pattern. One thing that I forgot to say is that the pattern comes with all the brims, so if you only want to print the specific brim for your design, you can do that. I like to print them all and store them in a folder in my binder of patterns to use it in another moment. Once you print it, you're going to see that every page has a smaller page inside marked with a dashed line, and the dashed line is the one you have to use to connect all the patterns. So what I like to do is always cut the right side and the top side, and then I attach them together with some tape. Once that's done, you cut the pattern pieces, and you should always have one crown, one side band, and one brim. So let's move into how to modify this pattern. The first thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to modify the side band to fit bigger or smaller foreheads. What you're going to need is a big piece of paper to trace your pattern. Then you're going to get your side band and you're going to draw a line in the middle. Now, I'm not going to do this adjustment for myself because I don't need it, but the next thing you would do is cut through that line And then you would separate both pieces if your forehead is larger than this bucket hat, and you would bring them closer on top of each other if your forehead is smaller than this pattern. I would only do 1 centimeter at a time, just in case. And then you're going to see that on the sides, this line has to be repainted, so just redraw the line and make sure all the seam allowances are correct. And that's it, that's going to be your new side band. Now let's look at the brim. Every single brim design is 9 centimeters wide, and for some people that might be too wide. This is the case for Owen that I'm making this bucket hat for, and he asked me to make it 6 centimeters long. So the only thing you have to do is this line should stay the same because this is attached to the side band, and what you're going to do is basically make it 6 centimeters long. So here I'm just going to mark it around. It's very important that you don't forget the seam allowances, so that's why you have 2 lines, the lines where you cut the pattern and the seam allowance. And the same goes for the notches. Don't forget to transfer them if you change the length of your brim. And the last thing to do is just cut through that line and you're going to have your final brim. And of course you can make them bigger, you can make them smaller, you can change the shape of the edge of the brim, or you can also make the front bigger than the back. As long as you don't change the inside curve, you're going to be fine. Next step is going to be cutting into the fabric, and as I told you at the beginning, I'm going to be using the same fabric for both the lining and the main structure, so I'm going to cut 2 of each piece on this fabric. But if you have another fabric for the lining, you would have to cut 1 piece of each in the main structure fabric and 1 piece of each with the lining fabric. Step number 1 is going to be cutting all the pieces in the main fabric, in the lining fabric, and the interfacing. And please, when you're cutting the pieces, don't forget to mark all the notches. And once you have all the pieces, you need to interface the brim. You can choose to interface 0, 1, or all the brim pieces depending on the fabric you're using or the desired structure. If you choose to interface one of the layers, it should be the exterior layer, so in the main fabric. Also, if you want to do any type of embroidery on the side band, now it's the moment before we start sewing. Remember to match your needle with the type of fabric you're going to be using. Normally, if you're using cotton or normal standard fabric, you could be using the universal needle, but because I'm using stretch fabric, I change my needle to match the stretch fabric. And as for the settings, you can always try out which stitch length and which tension is the best. But for now, I have it with the normal one, with the standard one, which is 2.5 length and tension of 4. Step number 2 is going to be closing the side band and the brim pieces. To do that, fold the pieces halfway with right sides together. Sew along the side with 1 centimeter seam allowance and then press all the seams flat. And do it for both the main structure and the lining. All the seam allowances for this pattern are 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. Step 3 is attaching the side band and the crown together for both the main structure and the lining. Align the side band and the crown by using the notches with right sides facing each other. Sewing through curves can be a little bit difficult, so to make it easier, I would advise you to clip the edges of the side band and be careful not to clip through the whole 1 centimeter seam allowance. Step number 4 is attaching the side band to the brim for both the main structure and the lining. To do that, align the side band and the brim by using the notches with right sides facing each other. The same way we did it for the previous step, to make it easier to sew around the curve, clip around the brim edges to make it easier for yourself, and be careful not to clip through the 1 centimeter seam allowances. Then sew them together with this 1 centimeter seam allowance. And at this point, I like to trim all the seam allowances to 0.5 centimeters and press them flat to have less bulk inside the hat. But some people just like to clip through both layers and leave it like that. So choose whichever one you prefer. Step number 5 is connecting the main structure to the lining, and to do that, put the lining inside of the main structure with right sides facing each other. Sew along the edge of the brim at 1 centimeter seam allowance and leave a 2.5 to 5 centimeter hole without sewing, so you can turn it inside out later on. You can trim all the seam allowances or clip along the curve, depends on how bulky your fabric is. The width of the hole depends on how difficult you want to make it for yourself to turn it inside out, and a small hole will make it more difficult, but also the finishes are neater. And if you have a bigger hole, then the opposite will happen. Step number 6 is making the bucket hat look more like a bucket hat. So to do that, turn the bucket hat inside out and arrange the lining inside of the main structure. Press the edge of the brim into place, making sure that the seam allowances where you left the hole are hidden inside of the structure of the bucket hat. And here you can choose to close the hole by hand or move to the next step. Step number 7 is doing the finishes, and the one finish that I like to do is adding the stitching lines along the brim. This step is optional though, you can choose if you prefer to do it or not. I like to do it using a continuous stitch, but feel free to finish it however you prefer. To do that, start by stitching around the brim at 0.2 centimeters seam allowance from the edge. When you reach the starting point, slowly move the needle to have an allowance of 1 centimeter from the first stitching line, and then continue doing that until the end of the brim. I personally prefer this look with the stitches, as the final product has more structure. But of course, if you don't like the stitching lines, you can leave it as it is. When doing the stitching, if you pick a lightweight fabric, what happens sometimes is that the fabric gets caught and it falls like this. If you want to avoid that, you can do two things. One is interfacing both layers, but I don't like to do that. I prefer having this because otherwise there's too much structure on the brim. And the other thing you can do is always have the interface side facing up, because then it's easier for the machine to move the bottom layer. And you can also always base stitch the both bucket hats together, so then you make sure that when you're moving the bucket hat, the fabric doesn't go elsewhere. And just like that, your bucket hat is done. Isn't it cute? I think it's super cute. And it only took me between 1 and 2 hours to make, and this whole embroidery took me 3 hours. So doing the embroidery is longer than the actual hat. One last thing I want to say is that the last page of the instructions is a template for you to store your pattern and put all the information in what size you made it, what fabric did you use, what pattern information, other adjustments that you would like to do, and some picture and a fabric sample here. So if you want to use it, go ahead. I like to store my patterns like this. That's why I included it in the pattern. But otherwise, yeah, store the pattern however you want. But that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.